I'm back from this special Caribbean island I've never thought to visit. So in this video I'm not just going to explain how this happened, but I'm also going to share 3 reasons why we should really stay longer. Welcome to Dominica. So this was an express trip to Dominica just before the pandemic, and there's some things I want to share with you today, especially if you go with little time like myself and want to get a flavor. The original plan was St. Lucia, but there was a last minute cancellation, so we were booked for Dominica instead, and frankly it was such a beautiful experience. Before starting, let's clarify something really important. Dominica is not the Dominican Republic. Actually, Santo Domingo, the capital of Dominican Republic, is like 600 miles away from Roseau, the capital of Dominica. I think most of us are confused the first time, but hopefully now it's clear. Alright, let's go to the point, and as always I'll share my experience in 3 parts. First of all, just want to say that 4 years ago in 2017, the worst natural disaster in the history of the island happened. The island is a perfect destination for those that we enjoy hiking, climbing and waterfalls, and approximately 365 rivers. So literally we can spend a year there and visit a new river every day. Talking about natural wonders, one of the most iconic places is Trafalgar Falls, just 20 minutes away from Roseau, the capital of the island. If you ask me, the single one thing I truly believe we can't miss at all is this place. These are twin falls that drop from 60 meters cliff next to each other. They call them the father or papa, falling at 40 meters, and the mother or mama, falling at 20 meters. They're just spectacular. And here's where I recommend wearing good shoes and not trainers like me, as we can climb and go further. Also, a short climb across the rocks will take us to a pool where we can cool off and enjoy this natural beauty from a different perspective. By the way, these rocks are really slippery, so like they say in the London Tube, mind the gap. That was not funny, was it? If you love waterfalls, that's it. This is a place to spend a few hours, for real. The area is surrounded by a massive green tropical forest, which is Dominica's flagship, making it one of the most beautiful places I've seen. Another one really stunning is this boiling lake, probably the most famous of Dominica's trail, and apparently this is the second largest boiling lake in the world. It's really important to go with somebody who actually knows the way very well. This trail is around 8 miles, so it's probably at least 3 hours one way and then another 3 hours come back. It can be a very long trail. I recommend going there early. In every bar we visit, we see an intriguing display of bottles. Each bottle has a label to distinguish its flavor, or in other words, a local bush rum. There's one place, very interesting place, as they had a beer rum selection that I feel we can describe mainly in 3 different ways: genius, madness, or gross. So it depends on how we look at it. I'm not here to judge, as every culture is different. They offer the typical rum selection, with flavors such as long leaf, ginger, cinnamon, grape, raspberry, like literally anything. So far so good. They also have another selection of rum. This selection includes flavors such as snake, lizard, centipede, slugs and grasshopper. And if this was not shocking enough, each rum also includes these creatures, adding flavor inside each bottle. In any case, I feel like this is a good place to eat and try the normal local rum. I'm sure there's people willing to try the uncommon selection, and if that's the case for you, by all means go for it. Personally, I was not brave enough for that, and hey, no regrets. This is really interesting because driving on the island of Dominica can be an adventure itself. There are a lot of unpaved motorways. The drive is on the left hand side like in the UK, which is fine for me as I'm based in the UK. But there's a few things to bear in mind. It's important to be ready to honk to alert another car or pedestrian that we are coming, right? This is actually key at night as many roads aren't well lit. I think this is not just in Dominica, but I've seen it in other islands in the Caribbean and, to be honest, quite common in Latin America. Whereas in the UK, I can probably get in trouble in a normal situation. But what they do is, hey, we want to make sure that we are 100% safe when we are driving. So I'd assume this is what they're trying to do. And I resonate with them because I was born and raised in Buenos Aires, Argentina. So it was not shocking. There are also narrow roads and winding roads around the volcanic areas don't normally have guardrails, and what lies on the other side is often a pretty straight drop off into a non-life. In any case, if we plan to stay longer and feel comfortable driving around mountains, narrow roads on the left, and taking into account some local tips, I think it's completely fine. There shouldn't be any issues really. Perhaps the funny anecdote is that on the way back from Trafalgar Falls, our car broke down and probably not in the best area.
Yes.
So we spent some time waiting for the recovery service to come over. They never came on time, so the local driver called a friend to pick us up.
I feel it's Thomas there.
We needed to catch a boat, and to be honest, this is funny now, but I think we were a bit stressed because we have very little time to go back and catch the boat. At the end, the local driver abandoned everything and came with us, even though he didn't have to. So it was a mystery how that story ended. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, I have a lot of more videos about the Caribbean islands. And hey, if you enjoy my content, my vibe and what you see, please feel free by all means to subscribe below so I can keep making these videos every week. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Probably I should start changing this. Thanks for watching and see you next week, or see you next time, and I should start saying something more fun.